Couldn't resist. Had to use that for the intro. I am not sorry. So it's back to the land of the rising sun for this video. Join me as we take another deep dive into the mystical realm of Japan, as I present to you some more underrated yokai that not a lot of people may know about. Because I am a huge sucker when it comes to Japanese mythology, or just mythology in general. Trust me, when it comes to mythology, I am like a kid at a candy store. I just eat it up like freaking pot roast. But before we start, I would be eternally grateful if you hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and maybe even hit that notification bell so you can keep up to date with more videos. Anyways, let's tear through this list like a kid opening a Christmas present. If shadows send chills down your spine, then this first entry will prove that those fears were pretty much justified. Meet the Kakeona, literally meaning shadow woman. As their name suggests, Kakeona are the shadows of women projected onto windows and doors when there is no one around to cast them. Plus, they reside in buildings that are abandoned, run down, or even haunted, so if that wasn't an obvious red flag already. Oh god, I can't believe I agreed to this freaking bet! Oh, screw this! I'm getting the hell out of here! Okay, I'm just gonna say this, but buildings that are run down or abandoned should be left alone, and I say this for a number of reasons. Like the possible risk of a foundational collapse, there could be black mold, there could be some dangerous animals residing in it, there could be some dangerous people in there, whether it be someone that escaped an asylum, a criminal, and that's to just name a few. Anyways, getting back on topic. Kakeona usually take on the form of young ladies, though occasionally they'll also appear as old crones with bells hanging from their necks. These things appear late at night when the moon is bright, and apparently, paper sliding doors and windows of traditional Japanese houses are particularly good at catching Kakeona shadows in the moonlight. And I'll be honest, if I was living in Japan and if I saw this thing, I would most definitely be pissing my pants. These things make absolutely no sound, so chances are you won't hear them coming. Thankfully though, these things don't really seem to be interested in harming humans. Honestly, the worst thing a Kakeona is going to do is just scare you to the point where your pants are dyed a shade of brown. And if you open the door or window that a Kakeona is occupying, chances are you're not going to find anything on the other side. However, they say that a house where a Kakeona is seen is likely haunted or will soon be haunted by other yokai as well. If one of these was in my house, I would most certainly be moving as soon as possible. Let me ask you one little question. Who here remembers the fairy tale Rapunzel? Huh? Anyone? This next one is like a more hellish version of Rapunzel. And that is the Kijoro, literally meaning hairy prostitute. And I know that some of you guys are thinking of a different kind of hairy, so get your damn heads out of the gutters, you sickos. And when I say that she's like a more hellish version of Rapunzel, I definitely mean that with 100% honesty. She appears in brothels or red light districts, and her targets are usually young men. So, in a way, she's kinda like a succubus. Now, appearance-wise, she looks like any average woman, with the strange exception with a long curtain of matted black hair obscuring her face. Kinda gives you Ring vibes, doesn't it? Now, in most stories, it is only the hair on her head that is disturbingly thick and long, But in some stories, her whole body is said to be covered in thick hair, like some kind of wild animal. Oh dear God, can you imagine getting frisky with something like that?
Take a look at me!
Not only no, but hell no. Bitch, you better get a truckload of shaving gel. Oh God. Excuse me while I go puke. Okay, let's just get back on topic. So how does she approach her victims, you may ask? Well, I'll tell you. As I said before, she lurks either in brothels or red light districts and targets young men. Let me give you a little perspective. Let's say that you're some dude chilling out at a nightclub. You're minding your own business, having a few drinks, when all of a sudden you see some pretty lady in the far corner. Thinking you got a good shot with this chick, you take a deep breath, adjust your looks, and you approach her. You greet her and offer to buy her a drink, but then she turns around. Surprise, surprise, what you just encountered was no ordinary woman, but the Kijiro. Well, hope you didn't have any plans, because you, my friend, are screwed in more ways than one. Now, I bet you're wondering, what happens to those who encounter her? Well, there is a good reason her hair is the way it is. Any poor sap that confronts her is so shocked, giving her enough time to attack him with her hair. That's right, she uses her hair to tangle her victims and slicing them to bits. Hey, I didn't call her a hellish version of Rapunzel for nothing. Despite this though, reports of Kijiro-related fatalities are quite rare. Although the Kijiro is a terrifying sight to us humans, she's also quite popular with other yokai, so much so that other male yokai frequently fight over her. You know, now that I think about it, I wonder if she targets specific yokai for specific preferences. Like, she could go for like a kitsune or an inugami if she likes it doggy style. If she has a tongue fetish, she could go for something like an ogama or an akaname. She could go for a zashiki warashi if she's into age play. Or if she's into the beefy kind of guys, she could go for something like an oni. Oh God, what is wrong with me? Hopefully though, I've convinced you to ignore the hot lady with hair obscuring her face and just walk away. Unless if you have a hair fetish for some ungodly reason, then by all means seek her out, but don't say I didn't warn you. A quick riddle for you. What's hairy, red-faced, and is constantly hitting the bottle 24/7? Well, it's the Shoujo. These yokai represent humanoid apes covered in shaggy red hair, almost reminiscent of that of an orangutan, and as I said, constantly hit the bottle 24/7. And I thought the Irish and Australians can throw back a few, but these guys can definitely drink both of them under the table. Hell, I'm willing to bet that they can go through, like, say, 500 or so keg stands and still keep on going. Honest to God, you put a shoujo in a drinking contest with some of Australia and Ireland's most prolific drinkers? No doubt the shoujo would make a monkey out of them. I'll be here all week. Shoujo are only found in coasts, islands, and shallow waters throughout Japan. Shoujo are often found in secluded beaches as they constantly marinate themselves, and trust me, they revel in their drunken stupor. They'll sing songs, dance, play on the beach, just enjoying life. Now, any drinker is bound to have their preferred alcoholic beverage of choice. Whether it be vodka, Jägermeister, Goldschlager, Budweiser, Corona, Stella Artois, Hennessy, tequila, the list goes on. Me personally, wine is my poison of choice. That and the occasional cranberry mimosa. Aside from that, though, that's all I'll pretty much take. I don't really consider myself an avid drinker, to be honest. And what do shoujo like? Well, sake, of course, which is basically rice wine if you don't know what that is. Also, a quick little fun fact, much like the kitsune and the kirin, shoujo are yokai that actually stem from Chinese mythology. Despite their silly appearance and demeanor, shoujo are said to be extremely wise. And aside from being heavy drinkers, they're also excellent brewers. So much so that they could distill a powerful brine wine with nothing but seawater. A yokai that could turn seawater into booze? Hell yeah! Though I can't help but imagine that this brine wine is bound to have a salty taste to it since it's composed of seawater. Well, the taste of this wine depends on the consumer. If the person drinking the wine was a good person, then the wine will have an exquisite taste. But if the person was wicked, however, then the wine will taste like foul poison. In fact, it may even kill the person if said person doesn't change their evil ways. Yikes, that gives a whole new spin on the term alcohol poisoning. So how dangerous is a shoujo? Well, they're actually pretty peaceful. Shoujo can understand human languages and can even parrot a number of words. Shoujo are curious and gentle towards humans. Generally peaceful, shoujo often keep to themselves, though occasionally there have been stories of groups of shoujo harassing sailors and ships which stray too close into their domain. These stories are rarely violent and usually lead to the shoujo fleeing into the water after stealing a few barrels of sake. Overall, it just comes to show that sometimes even yokai like to sit back, relax, and crack open a cold one. Yo, Harry, you up for another round? My words exactly. Yo, barkeep, let's get another round over here, huh? Okay, of all the yokai I looked up, this one has got to be the goofiest looking one of all. Meet the Haradashi, literally meaning belly exposer. I swear to God, I just recently learned of this thing. Honestly, just look at this thing. It is just absolutely ridiculous. Can you imagine seeing this thing doing the truffle shuffle? Oh God, that would be funny as hell.
First you gotta do the truffle shuffle.
Come on!
Do it.
Come on!
Do it!
Oh God. Honestly though, do I even really need to describe this thing? Probably not, but you know what? Screw it, let's go for it. The Haradashi, and I hope I'm saying that right, is known to take on a wide variety of forms. Occasionally, it'll appear as a headless torso with arms and legs, in addition with comical facial features on its belly. Other times, it will look like a kind elderly nun or a goofy female monster with long black hair. Whatever form it takes, the defining characteristics of a Haradashi is the large, comical face which appears on its midsection. Me personally, if I had to describe this thing, I would certainly say it looks like a bizarre fusion of a Starbelly Sneetch and Momo that tried and failed to do Iragamaguri's unrestrained ego blast from the anime Kill la Kill. Unlike most yokai, Haradashi don't do anything harmful, thankfully. They're actually quite cheerful and agreeable, and enjoy amusing others and cheering people up. Well, if I'm ever down in the dumps, I'll be sure to give this goofy thing a call. As previously mentioned, Haradashi are skilled shapeshifters. They frequently disguise themselves as ordinary humans and then use their belly faces to surprise people and make them laugh. And much like our previous entry, the Haradashi has a distinct fondness for sake. Haradashi appear to sad and lonely people, particularly those who are drinking alone at home. And Haradashi will slip into these people's houses to cheer them up. When offered a drink, Haradashi will happily accept it, and then bare its belly and perform a ridiculous dance. I would most certainly be laughing my ass off if this thing was in my house entertaining me. It's even said that those who entertain a Haradashi in their houses will find that their troubles and worries have vanished, and they've become filled with hopes and dreams. Though it's also said Haradashi will also appear in old temples and invite those who need help. Usually people who are lost or seeking shelter from snow or rain. The Haradashi will invite those people into the house, treat them to dinner, and of course, entertain them with their signature belly dance. A roof over your head and dinner and a show? That's something I wouldn't pass down. So, as such, what we got going on here is a goofy-looking yokai that simply exists to spread joy. They're basically the clowns of the yokai world. You know, the clowns that make people laugh and not have a tendency to kill people. Anyways, folks, that's all the yokai I'm going to be covering for today. If you guys like what you saw, then feel free to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you can stay up to date. Until then, I'll see you folks next time.